Hello everyone, this is Scarzig and welcome back to another episode of Duelyst. Today we're getting right back into one of my live commentaries for my own games, and I stumbled across a crazy idea that I didn't think would work, and I'm still not entirely convinced that it does work, but I've been having some pretty good games with it lately, so I wanted to show it off to you guys. This is Golem Abyssian. Now, when you make a Golem deck, the first thing that pops into your mind is Lionar. Golems have a lot of HP. You want to hit them with Divine Bond. You can even get cheeky with like War Surge and things like that. But one of the things that I've learned from trying to make Golem decks work way back when was that you need card draw, because you need to make sure you're getting your Golem Metallurgist and your Golem Vanquishers. Those are the two engines that synergize the Golem tribe together. And if you don't get those cards, then you kind of get screwed over. The other thing, too, is Golem decks are about spamming out large threats, playing cards on curve. You're also going to need to play a lot of cards to deal with your opponent's threats. Because Golems are vanilla units, they don't have opening gambits and other special effects that are going to help you deal with your opponent's threats. Golems are just there to be really big bodies that force your opponent to deal with them, hopefully. And so those are things that Lionar completely lacks. And when I was thinking about the weaknesses of a Golem deck, I realized that Abyssian possesses all of the things that that a Golem deck needs to make it work. We've got Demonic Lore to help deal with threats. Cassava's Bloodborne spell, 1 damage ping, is great for clearing out threats. Darkfire Sacrifice lets us ramp out some of these larger Golem units, and comboed with Golem Metallurgist, you can really cheat out some early Bright Moss Golems and whatnot. Even though they're vanilla units, that huge pile of stats coming out so early sometimes is really tricky for your opponent to deal with. They've also got Spectral Blade, which is a fantastic artifact that keeps you healthy, and you can clear early drops with it. And they also have Breath of the Unborn, which I always felt was such an odd card for Abyssian to have, because, you know, it restores all of your units to full health, but Abyssian, generally speaking, has pretty low health units. So Breath of the Unborn gives us AoE, lets us ping out like small ranged units and whatnot as well, damage our opponent's units, and heal our golems, which is huge. If you can get this to proc on 1 or 2 of your units, it's fantastic. And even if you need it to clear out your opponent's board, it's also good. And then we come to Dark Transformation, which is a good card all around for just dealing with large threats. It's a pseudo dispel. And when it comes down to card draw, Rite of the Undervault comes in for us right when we need it to at 5 mana. Because the curve is actually kind of mid-rangey, very low. Like, once you get into like 4 or 5 mana, that's like your stopping point. And like I said, with Darkfire Sacrifice and Golem Metallurgist, very rarely are you going to go over that amount of mana. So playing Rite of the Undervault usually lets you play something else right along with it late game. And then we've just got a couple Storm Metal Golems to round out the curve. Honestly, you should probably run Spectral Revenants here, but I'm sticking with the theme. And that's the Golem deck. So that is the theory behind it. Like I said, I've had a few good games already, and hopefully we'll run into some good tier 1 decks and see how it stacks up. Of course, it isn't going to be like a meta deck, but it is pretty useful. I do have Sworn Avenger in here as well, just as an additional threat. Sometimes this deck has trouble closing out games, and this adds a little bit of diversity overall. We're going to throw the Storm Metal Golem, of course. Golem Metallurgist is really good early for us, and we've got the Hailstone Golem to follow up with that. So I guess we'll just go Golem Metallurgist, Shiro Puppy Dragon as our opening, and we'll see how it goes from there. And depending on how he deals with that setup, we can go into Hailstone Golem or Sworn Avenger. And seeing the Riva here, I'm convinced this is probably going to be Spellhai, and we'll see how it goes, because I think this is probably going to come down to whether or not he draws his Onyx Bear Seals or not. Playing it here is probably a bit safer, because Golem Metallurgist is going to die to Phoenix Fire regardless. So if he's got it, he's got it. If he doesn't, he doesn't. Decides to play Lantern Fox. Let's get rid of the Shadow... Darkfire Sacrifice. Well, since he's got the Lantern Fox out, he's going to get a Phoenix Fire, so Sworn Avenger becomes less good. Bright Moss Golem is actually huge for us here because we can play it at 4 mana. Having a 4/9 out is saying Onyx Seal or bust. We're really just going to force that onto him. So let's get the Bright Moss Golem down here. I think the smart play will be to move the Golem Metallurgist out of the way, because he can attack with the Lantern Fox, and then the Golem Metallurgist is going to get killed anyway. So I think just moving it out of the way kind of increases the chances that it will survive. So let's see what he's got. He's only at 4 mana here, so he can't Onyx Bear Seal and play Phoenix Fire without like a Mana Vortex or something. So he does have a full hand. There is a chance he could have those 3 spells. So we'll see how he deals with this. Golem Abyssian, as I've found, is generally a very aggressive deck, because you want to just play those huge threats that your opponent has trouble dealing with. Versus factions like Abyssian that have demonic lore, it does become a bit problematic because they're just able to send your golems away. But generally speaking, decks in the current meta... Okay, Saberspine Steel, there's the Mana Vortex. So he is going to be able to take out the Bright Moss Golem by doing some fancy maneuvering. Fortunately for us, the Bright Moss Golem one-shots the Lantern Fox. Ooh. That's a lucky ping. And he did cast Saberspine Seal on himself, so he can step up and kill the Shiro Puppy Dragon. If he does that, though, then I get a free shot at this Heartseeker. Ooh, decides not to, so he just kind of... Wait, did he attack? Wait, 5, yeah. So he attacked. That's my bad. I thought he was like doing some shenanigans and then was going to use that too. So never mind that. Oh yeah, I've got the Abyssal Scar to take out the Heartseeker. And here I am, being all worried. 3. Now, Golem Metallurgist only counts for the first Golem you summon. They didn't want things to get too ridiculous. So I can ramp up to 6 here, and then it's still not enough to play all this junk, but I probably could Darkfire Sacrifice the Shiro Puppy Dragon. That'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's actually a pretty strong tempo play, and I think I'm going to go for it. Yeah, and you see right here, right at turn 5, like I was saying, is usually when you're running out of cards. And so Rite of the Undervault comes in right at 5 mana for us to kind of refill our hands. And so we got the Lantern Fox down. He's got a Phoenix Fire in his hand, so he can double Phoenix Fire to take out a Hailstone Golem. And if he's forced to do that, then it's really good swing for us. Hailstone Golems have 4 attack, as you can see. So he can't play a 4 Winds Magi in any tricky spot that I can't get to. And the Hailstone Golem can one-shot it, still live with 2 HP, and that's 4 damage he's got to find a way to deal with. Lantern Fox, Inner Focus. Yep, okay. That's pretty good. So Inner Focus, and then he hits the Golem Metallurgist. Because it got buffed by Shiro Puppy Dragon, it one-shots it, so that's really good for us. So he's got 2 Phoenix Fires in hand now, if I'm keeping track. But he doesn't have enough mana to cast them. So here you can see he's getting desperate. He's going to probably cast the Phoenix Fire on my face and then try to whittle me down. Oh, really? Doesn't go for that? Well, we'll get rid of the Bright Moss Golem because we do want Rite of the Undervault. But we can't get the Shadow Sister out, which is really good for us. Now, the question is, do I want to stay in melee range and hit with the Spectral Blade? Yeah, of course I do. If I didn't get the Spectral Blade, I would have backed off. But because I can just do this damage and heal off the Shadow Sister Kaleno as well, then doesn't matter. Beautiful. We've also got the Golem Vanquisher. If we had gotten this, like, earlier, would have been really good for us. Well played. Tip him 5 gold. So yeah, this deck, I feel like I'm getting really lucky. Like, that's, I think, my 4th or 5th win in a row with this deck. And that's after, like, experimenting with a bunch of other really crazy stuff. But I stumbled over this idea, and I've been having a blast. So this is what I like, when one of my crazy schemes actually works out and becomes a good deck. So right off the bat, we've got the Golem Metallurgist, which is really good for us. Spectral Blade is good to keep because it lets us one-shot Lantern Fox. Demonic Lore is also good for dealing with range units or whatever pesky things that he casts. So we're going to throw the Bright Moss Golem just to see if we can get maybe a Hailstone or something, which would be a bit better for us. Bloodshard Golem. And we don't need to cast Shiro Puppy Dragon turn 1. Actually, casting Shiro Puppy Dragon turn 1 is a bit better for us because he might have Phoenix Fire, and Shiro Puppy Dragon at 4 HP lives through Phoenix Fire. Next turn, we might be able to ramp up to 4, so then I can play the Golem Metallurgist and then a Bloodshard Golem right after it. So this actually works out for us a bit better, mulliganing into the Bloodshard Golem. So good on us there. Tuskboar. Tuskboar into attack into Phoenix Fire, or no? Okay. Double Blood Tier. Man, I was going to say, if the Shiro lives, then I can just... Okay. So, my first instinct was equip the Spectral Blade and then kill the Tuskboar. But I don't think that's going to work for us, because then the Blood Tier Alchemists just trade into us. Well, that might actually be good, because that way all the early drops he just summoned basically don't do anything. He is blocking me in, but that's like, what a miracle opening to counter it. Well, it's a good thing he got that, because I think I would have like really did some crazy shenanigans if I were able to get my ramp on here. The question is do I want to just summon the Bloodshard Golem and then have the Blood Tier Alchemists like trade into it? Actually, no. We'll do Spectral Blade like I was talking about, because playing Golem Metallurgist into Bloodshard Golem will just be the play next turn. And like I said, if the Blood Tier Alchemists want to kill my Spectral Blade, I heal off of them, and then it's just a 3-for-1. He killed my, it's a 3-for-2, I guess you could say, because he killed the Shiro Puppy Dragon, and I got his Tuskboar, and I'll be at full HP. Whoa, Mechazor. That explains why he's running so many crazy 1-drops. Because you can play Astral Divination. Ancestral Divination, I mean. Which is a card. It's a spell that you play. And then the card states whenever you play a minion from your hand, you draw a card. So then it just allows you to spam out units. So, let's see. I can move up, do Golem Metallurgist into Bloodshard Golem, then attack the Sword of Mechazor, and then Abyssal Scar it. So that is going to be a pretty decent play for us. And yeah, we want to play the Bloodshard Golem here, keeps it out of range of the Helm of Mechazor. And then we're going to take out the Sword of Mechazor. I think we'll throw Demonic Lore. We're going to need it to deal with Cannon of Mechazor, but it doesn't actually work against Mechazor itself, so I don't feel like we need 2 of them. And since we have the Golem Metallurgist, we can actually ramp into the Storm Metal Golem, which is going to be huge for us because he's down to 1 card in hand. And after all that spamming, I don't feel like that card is actually going to be an Onyx Bear Seal. There's the chassis. This is a bit of a predicament for us. Well, I can actually just equip the Spectral Blade, kill the chassis with Mechazor, Demonic Lure, this thing to kill it. And we'll just do that. Because I could make the trade here, but I want to get that damage in, especially since he's shown he's playing Mechazor. And next turn I'll get up to 6, so I can drop the Storm Metal Golem if I want. Even if he kills the Golem Metallurgist. And right at the Undervault, that's exactly what we wanted to see. Again, right at around 5-6 mana is where it's coming through for us. I have 2 copies in this deck. Yep, so he's going to make those trades, which I figured he would. I just wanted to clear his board. Casting Rite of the Undervault here doesn't do much for us because it just leaves us with 1 mana over. And since I have a play this turn, we can get away with not having to worry about, not having a play. And Shiro Puppy Dragon is kind of nice to have a low drop, and then we'll just start buffing the Golem. Shiro Puppy Dragon is kind of hilarious because people have trouble clearing the Golems because of their high HP. So Shiro Puppy Dragon, as we kind of saw a little bit of last game, can hang around for a couple turns. See, the 2 cards in his hand was Gorehorn Inner Focus. Okay. I'm cool with that. Even if I get backstabbed again, it's not really a big deal, right? Next turn he's going up to 8 mana, and he can hit me with Spiral Technique. So that would be not enough to kill me. And so I think I'll just... because I want to step down and kill the Heartseeker. I do have Abyssal Scar, so I can actually get in a safe spot. 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's actually a bit smarter, I think. And then we'll develop the Shadow Sister, Shiro Puppy Dragon. We heal off of that. Abyssal Scar, we heal off of that. And we kind of have him boxed in by Shadow Creep tiles, which aren't a big part of this deck's game plan, but, you never want to take, 2 damage or whatever. He's going to have to summon here to body block. Ooh, so that's Mechazor coming down. 9, 10, 11, 12. And I can't hit this with any spells. 8 plus 8 is 16, so I've got theoretically 1 more turn because he can hit me and then Spiral Technique. So this deck's just a bit slow, which is really unfortunate. We'll do Rite of the Undervault here. And sure, why not? We ping you, which gives me a heal. I kill this, which gives me a heal. Storm Metal Golem hits him, which gives me a heal. Shadow Sister, that gives me a heal. And I guess we'll throw the Bright Moss Golem. Yeah, so I think that that amount of heals should be able to clinch this game for us, because he's only got 1 card in hand. Fortunately for us, he summoned all those units early, but he didn't have the Ancestral Divination to really bring that combo together and pull ahead, because if he had more cards to work with on these last few turns, definitely would have been bad news for us. So he can step 2 back, and this needs to be, even if this was Spiral Technique, because I was able to heal with the Shadow Sister, it's very good for us. Like I said, this deck doesn't have a lot of out-of-hand damage. So, let's see. Okay, so Mechazor kills that, and you step 2 back and play something that doesn't die to the Spectral Blade to body block, because I can just step down here. Yeah, so that's GG. Arcane Heart, and then into a crazy buff. Juxtaposition. He should have did that earlier and then frenzied this. Oh, but wait. That's right. Mechazor can't be targeted by any spells. I completely forgot about that. That's actually really cheeky. Look at this. The the juxtaposition makes it so the Shadow Sister can't get into range. That's really adorable. So, let's see. I just gotta watch out for the Mechazor Frenzy. Get rid of a Golem Vanquisher, I guess. Figure out what I want to do. Well, I want to heal off of this with my Spectral Blade, that's for sure. Then we'll do Hailstone Golem, Golem Vanquisher. And I can't, of course, target the Mechazor with the Abyssal Scar. So this game is winding down. I'm pretty much back at full HP because Shadow Sister is so balanced. But like I said, we were able to... He wasted all of his cards early, and then we were just able to come back because we had Rite of the Undervault, which that really brings this this deck together. So there's the Onyx Bear Seal. And this has happened to me several times actually, where my opponent's down to like really low HP and they just keep kiting me back and I can't get into range. So I guess what we'll do is throw back the Storm Metal Golem, because that's just a bit excessive at this point. Summon the Sworn Avenger and move the Shadow Sister Kaleno down. Abyssal Scar. And then Shiro Puppy Dragon. And stick a Bright Moss Golem there. So now, I think we've got him checkmated because the Mechazor is going to be forced to hit the Sworn Avenger because it's a ranged unit, which was one of the reasons I put it in the deck, is for situations like this, where you kind of can't close the gap right at the end of the game to finish off your opponent. And like I said, he's been top decking this whole time, so it's just me tightening the noose on him. The Pando can't be attacked, so... Yeah, so I can just kill that Heartseeker with Abyssal Scar. Well played, because late game your Bloodborne spell becomes available. And I'm at full HP, so... Is that like an achievement where you heal yourself all the way back up to full HP with this balanced unit? Once you're ahead, Shadow Sister just makes it so you stay ahead. It's so hard for your opponent to deal with it, I swear. And that's one of the good things about this deck. You're dealing with the fat golems chasing you down, and Shadow Sister is going right at you. Lionar has the advantage. using that deck with Divine Bond to just finish you out, but that's like a weird control variant of Golem deck. So thank you for tuning in. I'm pretty sure those games ran a bit longer than I would have liked, so I think we'll cut the video here. If you'd like to see some more replays, I do have, like I said, a few more other replays available that I could upload and comment over if you'd like to see this Golem deck in action further. But thank you for stopping by, and you have a good one.